Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the User Feedback Fundamental Crash Course created by Wilson Pang from Yes Insights. And this is lesson 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the introduction to lesson 1, and we'll be continuing off with lesson 2 right here. So, in this specific lesson, I'll be covering different ways to collect user or customer feedback. So we'll be doing this through surveys, as I mentioned in the introduction, and this is our main focus. We're not going to go into the tools like Google Analytics, Mixpanel, the ones that tell you what they're doing, but more of why users are doing it. So here are the different ways. Using user feedback surveys to collect important data is one of the best ways to pretty much get actionable feedback that can help you with your growth and making better business decisions, right? There are two types of user feedback surveys. So the first one is long form surveys. Long form surveys are probably the ones that you receive on your email after you make a purchase on Amazon or eBay or whatever site you're on, and then they go like, "Hey, can you take 3 minutes of your time to fill out the survey?" You click on the link, it goes to some SurveyMonkey page or some external link, and you have to fill out this long stuff where you have to put in your name, etc., etc. Um, this is actually very good for collecting a long form of data if you have a lot of questions to ask, a lot of multiple choice, a lot of open-ended question where people actually have to type in answers, but they result in a very, very low response rate because people surveys get a bad rep as well as people just don't like going to an external page. And the longer the survey is, actually people spend less time putting in more accurate data. So it could be a waste of time, but it could be very useful if you have some incentive, like they like providing free $100 Amazon gift cards and stuff like that. The second way is short one-click surveys, which is what you can create through Yes Insights or a bunch of different other survey tools. You can do this through the website widget, send one-click surveys, Net Promoter Score surveys. These are all very simple surveys. They're inline surveys that embed directly in your email, and most of them already provide a response or answer for you. So the respondent doesn't really need to think, and they can just click on the answer and give you their feedback, which is super much more effective. And for us, if you're using Yes Insights, you can actually get up to 80% response rates. We see PickleChart, one of the SaaS company that use us, that does that. We see a bunch of on-demand startup companies that use us for feedback, and it works really well. Our own onboarding email, as you can see on the bottom right picture, we get 50% responses on everyone that opened that email. So 50% of the people actually click through, and then it goes to a custom landing page where they can actually leave more feedback. That's for you to decide whether you want to go with the long form survey or the short form one click surveys. But there are two options, and I obviously prefer the short ones. The second way that you can do it is by sending out Net Promoter Score surveys, which I just mentioned. Net Promoter Score surveys is pretty much another great way for you to segment your advocates and promoters. There's a lot of things you can do. I wrote a blog post about this on the things that you can do with NPS. The great thing about NPS is that anybody can use it, right? Whether you're a consultant, a real estate agent, a SaaS company, an e-commerce company, or just a service business. It's a very good way to leverage more testimonials, referrals, and just getting actual feedback on knowing what the user thinks about your product so you can take the guesswork out of knowing what they want, right? Here's a picture of our own NPS survey that we send out, and you can create this directly within Yes Insights. The picture on the right, what it does is that it's actually automated email after the person responds to the survey. So what we do is that we actually tag people based on their answer. So if they're a promoter, which means they select either 9 or 10, we will trigger an auto email using our auto email follow up feature, and it will offer them a discount. It's a great way to reactivate your list of inactive leads, as well as a great way to just encourage more referrals. And for here, you can upsell courses, upgrade accounts, and you can just do a bunch of different things with it. It's super powerful. Net Promoter Score surveys is just a great way to gain feedback and figure out who your promoters and advocates are. The next way to collect feedback is do a website feedback widget, which is a little slightly like a slider or like a pop-up, an exit survey pop-up. And what it does is that it allows you to kind of narrow down the user's feedback based on different pages, right? So you can like, let's say a person decides to purchase a product from your e-commerce site. What you can do is that right after they purchase on the thank you page, you can have this slider appear. You can set it to appear, and it will say, um, what do you like about the product, or why do you decide to buy this product, or do you evaluate one of our competitors before choosing to buy this product. And that allows you to gain so many insights. Is a very smart move to kind of choose which page to target for different surveys. And this picture right here just shows an example of how you can actually create one within Yes Insights and specify where do you want it to show up. I mean, there's a lot more information you can fill out when you're actually creating the survey, but this is just a snippet of the photo. And website feedback would just work like a charm. You can embed it. Let's say you're a SaaS company, and when the user cancels their account, you can have one of these sliders pop up and go like, hey. What's the reason for you canceling the account, right? MailChimp does a good job with this. Then that way you can provide more feedback and you gain more insights on your user as well. The next way is by just simply using a personal email or by the phone. Just sending out a personalized email asking for feedback directly with a personal touch, introducing yourself, is just a great way to gain actionable feedback, right? Here's an example of how Notify did it in the early days before they even used any survey tool. The downside for this is that it's not really scalable because you have to kind of email or pick up the phone and call every one of your customers. But if you only have like 10 or 15 customers, it's a great way to start, right? Talking to your customers is better than not talking at all. So a great way to do this is just by personally reaching out. Make sure you want to make it as personalized as possible and not one of those like MailChimp mass emails or Yesware mail merge mass emails. Um, in this example, where I pasted in a picture, is where Notify sends out a picture and in email and says, "Hi there. I see that you just signed up for a private beta. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? Namely, how big is your company? What job do you do? And how do you hope to use Relay, which is one of their products?" Because that will help us build something more valuable. Looking forward to hearing back from you. Thanks. And they actually received a good amount of responses. They were super excited about it. And here's a response on the bottom. It says, "We're a web-based SaaS company that launched last year, and we're gearing up our marketing and sales operation to support the growth of the business as well as the product continues to grow. We use Segment in all parts of the business, etc., etc. We're a small crew, 13 people. The app is pretty data heavy and rich in analytics, which is why we're always clean for new ways to explore." This answer was so detailed and it just taught us so much because now we know what type of company we're targeting, we know who are the roles we're targeting, and now we know where to market. And like, let's say you're writing content, now you know what type of content to post out or what type of ebooks to create, and you have so much more valuable data, and now you know what type of startups you're working with as well. Another great way to do it is to collect customer feedback is by using user testing. User testing is actually a website company that is really good for qualitative data. So you'll be able to pay people to visit your site and perform specific actions. What they do is that they record a video of themselves using your website, they record audio of their opinions, and then you can pretty much imagine the insights that you can just get from these videos. Most of the videos are about 10 minutes long. The prices are pretty budget friendly. So if you're creating like a mobile app and you just don't know if there's any bugs or you don't know what people are doing on your web app, this is just a great service for you to use. It's super affordable, and there's a lot of session recordings, and I just think it's one of the best ways to gain customer feedback and user feedback. Lastly, I want to go over Intercom. Intercom is a pretty much what I call an all-in-one SaaS that allows you to communicate with your customers. I mean, we use it on our platform. A ton of our customers use it. I think more than 50% of our customers use it, and you can actually embed surveys, embed our Yes Insight surveys into Intercom to get the highest amount of response rates. So on the picture on the right, you see PickleChart, which is one of the customers I just mentioned. They're using it within their Intercom message, and it says, "What do you use PickleChart most for? For school and academic use, for personal stuff, or for work and internships? Thanks for being awesome." And just with this, people are more willing to click on a link, and that's how you get more responses. What Intercom allows you to do is actually send out triggered emails, which is super powerful. So you can segment the list. Like, let's say, only send this survey to people that have been using our app for more than 10 times, or only send the survey to people who signed up for more than 3 months, and or only send it to people from this country. That way you can narrow down your focus and know exactly how they're using your product, where they're coming from, and you just learn so much from it, and you can build off based on the different type of feature and product feedback that you get. Well, the conclusion is that this is just a lesson on different ways that you can get customer and user feedback surveys. You can get it through Net Promoter Score. You can do it through one-click surveys, website feedback widget, usertesting.com, personal email or phone, or Intercom. I hope to see you guys in lesson 3, which I'll be talking more about the user feedback fundamentals. You can follow me on Twitter at WilsonPeng8, and make sure you guys check out yesinsights.com if you're looking to create surveys or just have a website widget to gain those user feedback right away.